Just answering questions with waptek. Someone's posted some assertions under my video and doesn't watch my channel, doesn't know what I said, or ignored what I said in the video and said a bunch of things that putting words in my mouth because, that's how it works. I find it funny that you, apparently me, waptek, you believe without a shadow of doubt any Democrat. Counterpoint, that's never been true. If there's actual video, voice, and pictures, you mean evidence, right? Then all those must be forged, right? Or better yet, created by Russians. Okay, again, the people claiming they have evidence from a computer, a laptop from Hunter Biden, refuse to provide evidence because they spent months trying to put something together that looked convincing, and then when it was presented, people could easily check, yeah, you forgot to change the time and date stamps. This is shit you added to the file set. And when it came to a certain diary, yeah, you forgot to make sure that everything was consistent. And it's probably partially or completely faked. And yeah, it'd be nice if Giuliani didn't touch the laptop hard drives because he's notorious for not giving a shit about presenting facts anymore. And yeah, it'd be really good if Project Veritas, aka O'Queef as I like to call him, hadn't touched anything concerning the diary. And it'd be really handy if your FBI informant, who said he has audio recordings, 2 of them, of President Biden, or at the time, Vice President Biden, breaking a law, and then flat out just didn't provide the evidence afterwards because it's bullshit. There's no evidence he presented this information to anybody. And I guarantee you, if you have any of the usual suspects that are always lying, like O'Keefe or Giuliani, any of them, come up, oh yeah, here's the audio recording. Yeah, you're doing that so that it looks like a political stunt and that nobody will take it seriously. Because if you're not aware of it, these buffoons doing buffoon things are so that you could say in court, a reasonable and prudent person would never believe me because I don't sound credible. That's literally how Fox, the entertainment channel, presented its fake news as being entertainment that no one would believe. Why would anybody believe me? I have no credibility. That's a way of avoiding a court case. Again, the central assertion is Biden took a bribe. But this is claimed by somebody who says their only evidence is an audio recording. They never provide it. And, well, Hunter Biden blah, blah, blah about a hard drive. Nobody even cares what the claims were anymore. The hard drive data was falsified by the Republicans. It doesn't matter that the original source, by the way, the computer shop owner, who was legally blind and couldn't identify Hunter Biden out of a lineup, by the way, even he said, yeah, that's not what was on the drive data that I copied, that they falsified it. He agrees that the Republicans falsified it. And yeah, most of that document that's supposed to be a diary by one of the relatives in the Biden family does not appear to be credible either, although I'm not the handwriting expert or whatever. I'm basing it off other people in the Republican Party who evaluated it. Not all of it's consistent. It's been altered. And again, in all of these, if you're claiming they're evidence of some wrongdoing, they're either a vague assertion so that you can use it on a bumper sticker somewhere and it's not actionable in court, or the chain of evidence was broken all over hell and gone, seemingly on purpose. And then again, about a half dozen times, the Republicans have gone through the motions of doing their little Spanish Inquisition attack, no one expected it, against Joe Biden or whoever else. And they always come up with having to admit, under protest, they didn't have any evidence. There wasn't any evidence. That means there was no reason to do this. And then they do it again whenever it's inconvenient. Every time Donald Trump says or does something that makes the Republican Party look like they're taking care of him while he's an actual criminal, they bring the shit up to deflect. And it's always got some clown behind it. If there's actual video, voice, and pictures, then all of those must be forged, or better yet, created by Russians. None of it could possibly be true. Except that we do find stuff that's falsified by the Russians. Independent geeks and hackers on the internet find out what they're doing and see them posting fake news stories. And most importantly, supposedly proof. Now, I want to point out that the Republican Inquisition that nobody expects has people claiming that the articles of impeachment have been filed. And then when you look it up, it hasn't. They always say they've been filed. The articles of impeachment have been filed. They're in the impeachment process. And then Republicans wonder what happened. And then the Republicans, ordinary people, just assume that the Democrats blocked it. No. Unless it goes through the process, it's not filed impeachment paperwork. It's somebody saying they did. Major Taylor Greene, General Calamity Jane here, made a claim that she was going to file this. No, she's proposing it. It's been repeatedly done. It was also repeatedly done against George Bush. Doesn't mean he was impeached. It just means somebody's screaming about stuff. Ukraine always was known as the most corrupt countries in the world. Your grammar is amazing and astonishing. The Ukraine government, up to a certain point, was heavily corrupt. Yes. And one of the people that was responsible for that corruption is one of the people that is being accused of giving or trying to give or failing to give Joe Biden a bribe. He's been caught bribing people in his own country, or trying to, because even in their own country, they got fed up with this crap and decided, let's prosecute all these people. We can't get anything done. We got corrupt politicians and non-politicians running around and oligarchs doing it. Let's get rid of them all. And the claim is he somehow tried to get away with all this by bribing Biden to stop the investigation that just kept steamrolling on his ass. Or mostly. But no, that's all there is. And yes, Hunter Biden being appointed to a job anywhere outside of the United States, his dad should have said, I'm the vice president. This is a conflict of interest. You're not doing this. Let's not have an accident where you go bye-bye. I'm sorry. Let's do mob boss mode here. The big guy has had his hand in that cookie jar. Okay, you're using a euphemism here, avoiding saying a positive assertion. A demonstratively true or false statement has not been made here. So you're basically just saying shit that doesn't make any sense. And then you say, most Democrats did. So most Democrats have their hand in that cookie jar. Whatever cookie jar you're referring to, this is extremely vague. Oh, well, you know what it means. No, nobody knows what you mean. You're deliberately, you are basically going to try to say something. You know that if I double check what you're saying, I'll find out it came from some specific website, it's a lie by some specific person, and it's bullshit. Meanwhile, there are plenty of Democrats. I'm sorry, the joke about Chicago-style Democrats. There's shit tons of Democrats you can find that are corrupt as fuck. Why don't you name them? Why don't you tell us what they did? Oh no, it's just Democrats. They're all bad. They're all, and then you yell groomer eventually, right? As per usual, once someone all out there, okay, the Dems start their same old crazy old, he's crazy, he's a liar. And you say the Democrats are the ones saying that the opposition is we're going to say groomer because I'm not repeating what you said. He's this or that. I've watched the Democrats do this to many people. I can't remember the guy's name, but I think he was running in Alaska. They, I guess you're referring to Democrats, brutalized him by making up so many stories. He killed himself, and conservatives haven't done anything like this. Okay. Later, it was revealed it was all lies. I always assume it's lies until evidence is brought in. Why don't you do the same thing about Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, the other Biden family? They all have each other's backs. It's one thing that Republicans don't have. So you don't think Republicans back each other up and run interference for each other. Very interesting world you live in. What color is your sky? They're all scandalous, but Democrats take the award for being the best at it. So let's review. Hey, at least you didn't yell groomer at the Democrats. That's good. You're doing better. Just slightly better than the others. Let me get into this again. It's funny that waptek will believe without a shadow of a doubt any Democrat. I don't believe any Republican or Democrat politicians because they're bullshit artists. Number one. Number two, in any subject matter, if someone doesn't present evidence, I consider them full of shit automatically. Next, if it's trivial to do so, like the Republicans said they had a hard drive. Okay, even if you had to redact it, you could just give the data as a blank file, as a hard drive image, which supposedly the Mac shop owner did. I mean, if you're going to violate Hunter Biden's privacy, go ahead and do it. Nope. Oh, but okay, how about some files after you redacted it? Nope. How about we see it eventually? Finally, when we see it, we find out they phonied it. Okay, you said you have a diary, and you say it's basically insinuating that Joe Biden is a groomer. Okay, so what are you going to give us the entire thing? Because it's literally a little notebook about, 3x5 notebook. Nope. Eventually got leaked, and I actually made an imager copy of all of it so it wouldn't get erased at one point. I've lost the link, but it's out there. Other people have done the same thing. Is it consistent from page to page? Nope. Is it consistent with her own handwriting someone dug up on Reddit someplace? Now the Reddit thing is blanked because they're doing some protest this week. Nope. Can't find any connection with her actual handwriting, so the whole thing could be faked, but we don't know. Maybe she was, emotionally driven and wrote words badly. Okay, fine. But it's not consistent from page to page, so nope. It's probably not real either. And again, it came from somebody, O'Keefe, a.k.a. Project Veritas, that's literally notorious for falsifying shit like birth certificates. No, really. Falsifying official government goddamn documents. What a dipshit. And he's now in trouble for this because some of the pages were actually supposedly from her. May have been junk thrown in the garbage, may have actually been from her real diary. But we're never going to see the light of day with it. Not because of the Democrats, but because in every case, the people saying they had evidence refused to release it. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is being prosecuted by the Democrats. Donald Trump is being prosecuted by the state of Florida, run by DeSantis, by people who were appointed by DeSantis, or by Trump. One of Trump's own appointees is screwing him sideways with sand and salt, both. But it's the Democrats doing it, because it's not like Donald Trump literally opens his mouth every time he should shut it. And again, I don't think they should have impeached Donald Trump at all, because they didn't have enough. If you had enough evidence to impeach somebody, it should be evidence that would cause you to be able to arrest them outright and put them into jail. They're actually doing stuff that they should put him into jail for. What he did is a firing squad death sentence offense because of the oath he took and violated. There's actual proof of this. There's actual evidence of it. The only reason he would be able to get off is if he takes a plea deal, which he's rejected, which is incredibly stupid because short of actually putting him in the firing squad, they would have to state in court, we're commuting your death sentence. A president violating the law that way would receive, that's a death sentence. And yes, it being 1,000 pages versus, 100, actually it's more like 50 from Joe Biden. Joe Biden is not as bad. And also, Joe Biden cooperated and gave the paperwork back. And also, Joe Biden's lawyer and other people are the ones who found it and immediately alerted them that they'd ended up with this shit. Trump tried to hide that he had it. Well, maybe we don't have to tell them. He's done as much as possible to make it impossible for you to say he's innocent. And some of you are championing him. This person posting is probably doing it. Again, the only reason this shit's being brought up, and I did a video about it, that all this crap going at the Bidens, is that every time Trump does something that legit makes him look like a traitor, they freak out and have to find butter emails, and that's not working. Okay, Barack Obama's birth certificate, that's not working anymore. Okay, let's go after a creepy thing that was written on a piece of paper that was picked up by Project Veritas that is in all likelihood faked. Okay, that didn't work. Okay, well, let's bring up Hunter Biden's laptop, which literally even the evidence they brought forward that was falsified still didn't indicate any wrongdoing or criminal activity. And then finally, okay, we'll get him for a bribe he gave. Okay, well, our evidence source refused to provide the information, and we knew that before we made the claim, and we know we don't have evidence, but we're going to keep doing it because we got to have another investigation as a dog and pony show. Then there's you, saying I won't criticize Democrats. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck.